We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and power. Life is war. It is war. We are in the midst of spiritual battle, warfare, okay, while we live on this earth. We understand that God owns everything. We understand that we're called to live and give in light of grace. And so what does strategic living and strategic giving look like? What does it look like for the Christian? It looks like asking questions like this about our finances and our budget and our spending. Is this necessary? Does it contribute to the cause? Is this something worthy of my attention as a soldier of Jesus Christ? Money is all about strategy. I want to say this and make an important distinction here. When I talk about strategic lifestyle, that is quite different than a simple lifestyle. That is quite different than taking a vow of poverty, for example. I want to say this and be clear about this. Choosing to do without because somehow in your mind poverty equals spirituality is tied to a heresy, an ancient heresy called asceticism. Asceticism, okay? It is a view that is equally as wrong as materialism. Poverty in and of itself no more equals spirituality in God's eyes than does wealth. But sometimes we have this elevated view of monks and others who take a vow of poverty, and just generally, just based on taking that vow, we shouldn't. It is a twisted view of God's good gifts. Poverty does not equal spirituality any more than wealth equals spirituality. There are many wealthy people who are not greedy, who are quite generous, and of course there are many who are greedy and who are cutthroat, okay? Likewise, there are many people who are quite greedy and cutthroat, though they're poor. And the pursuit of money is their God, even though they're poor. And there are many others who even in their poverty are quite generous and quite sacrificial. Thinking that poverty on its own is spiritual neglects the many verses in Scripture that speak of God's good gifts, that speak of us enjoying God's good gifts and using God's good gifts to bless those around us.